Hello, I'm Area A Director Mark Pendergraft. The following presentation shows the draft 2022 budget for Area A after first reading. The budget is subject to change before second reading on February 17, 2022, and I encourage you to provide feedback before then. Now here's the RDOS Manager of Finance, Jim Zaffino.
The following presentation is a high-level overview of the budget, and it's 500 pages, and here it is. To view detailed budgets, please visit the RDOS Regional Connections interactive website. To review any of the slides presented in this video, please hit pause. The following slides provide information about the RDOS Legislative Foundation. Each regional district is a corporation. The RDOS has 9 electoral areas represented by rural directors elected to their position. The 6 municipalities represented on the board appoint their members. Regional districts are not taxing authorities. Regional districts do not tax municipalities. Regional district taxes are based on the services, not the location. Some regional district services are legislated, including general government, solid waste management plans, and E911 telecommunications. Most regional district services are by choice. Property in a rural area will receive their tax notices from the Surveyor of Taxes, and the taxes are paid to the province. The following slides cover taxes. To review any of these slides, please hit pause. The following slides provide information about the RDOS budget structure. A regional district is different than a municipality. Regional districts create a separate budget for every service it operates. For the 2022 budget, the RDOS has 156 separate services and therefore 156 separate budgets. Separate budgets ensure only those who participate in the service pay for the service. The budget process launched in October 2021. The budget includes approved change requests. Budget workshops were held November 5th and 9th, 2021. The provincial legislation requires the budget to be adopted by March 31st, 2022. The following slides provide information about RDOS services. You can hit pause at any time to review the slides. You can also visit RDOS Regional Connections to view detailed budgets. Regional services are services where the majority of the electoral areas and municipalities participate. For regional services, all properties in the municipality and electoral areas contribute. Regional services include heritage, conservation, corporate facilities, legislative services, and regional trails. Rural services are services where the majority of the electoral areas participate. For rural services, all properties in the electoral area contribute. Rural services include animal control, electoral area administration, and planning. Shared services are services where only those participating in the services pay for the shared services. Local services are services where only a defined group of properties within an electoral area participate. Examples include fire protection and water systems. Staff begin building budgets for each service in October. The 2022 budget is prepared along with the additional 4 years. New requests or changes come forward as program change requests. If approved, the item is added into the draft budget. The official title of the draft budget is 2022-2026 5-Year Financial Plan. The board can make changes to the budget up until it is adopted. Feedback from public consultation is presented to the board along with the Budget Bylaw for second and third reading and adoption. By legislation, the budget must be adopted by March 31st, 2022. This presentation is in regards to Electoral Area A budget for 2022. This specific slide talks about the tax assessment increases for A compared to the other areas. For 2022, it was 3.22%, and as you can see, in 2021, it was 2.81%. So that's a huge increase, because what that means is that Electoral Area A is paying 3.22% of all of the services where all of the different member municipalities and the electoral areas participate in. However, one more serious increase is the assessment increases for the properties within A, and that was 47.56%, where the average is 28.89%. So Electoral Area A will bear a much higher overall tax burden for the services that A participates in. This slide talks about the administration overhead. It's been a concern and debated by the board a number of times. Administration overhead are the support costs that help the staff run the 156 services that we provide. They are the Human Resource Department, Legislative Services, Finance, Corporate Services, and Information Services. One of the biggest increases in the overhead for 2022 is in information services, and that's because to keep the doors open, we've had to upgrade and keep the administration hardware costs and the software costs so that we can keep everything going. Each year, staff look at what's required to run the organization and may come up with a business plan for additional staff or additional service level increases. So the board reviews the business plans and determines which ones they approve, and if they approve it, they make it into the budget. Also, every yearly, the grant and aid requests are going to the board. Different organizations come to the board and ask for funding to run the services for that year. This slide here shows what the requests were, which organizations received funds and which didn't. If you press pause now, you can take a closer look at the costs. Also, the program change requests also include, as I stated, the wages, which is a full-time equivalent, new staff, or service level increase. These slides show the business plans that were approved. It shows the departments that would benefit from these new requests and how much the cost would be over the next 5 years. And again, as I stated, these have been approved and are included in the 2022 budget. So this one here is for a parks labor, which goes from the original request was 1.75. It was reduced to 1.14. There's also a bylaw officer. The engineering department needed some staff, administration assistant, and also administration coordinator. I thought you might find it interesting in seeing the capital requests in the 22 budget that benefited Electoral Area A. At one point or other, there was reserves collected to help fund these projects, or grants requested that also help fund the projects. So this one here is for 911 emergency call system, building inspection software, which is a carry forward from 2021. Regional trails, there's a number of capital projects that are being either funded from reserves again or from grants. The solid waste management plan, the carry forward from 2021, and the Suias Lake pedestrian corridor repair. So again, as stated, these are not in the current taxes, they were in prior taxes. The Annicus Fire Department has a few capital projects that it would like to be funded through the capital side. This slide shows a comparison of 2021, 2022 operating and capital budget, just to show that there's a comparison how similarities is 58 million in 2021, 60.2 million in 2022. The anomaly here is that there's a 7.2 million capital carry forwards and one major project, $8 million for the composting, but that's majority funded from grants. The Electoral Area A tax requisition for 2022 is $1.4 million, $155,000 increase from 21, which is a 12.31% tax increase. Taking into account non-market growth, it's 10.65%. I do want to emphasize that this is at first reading. The director will be looking at this budget and looking at where we can fine-tune and drop the tax increase, and that can be changed, increased, or decreased right up until adoption. These are the material increases, or in some cases, in other departments, decreases for where the tax requisition, why the tax requisition changed. And as you can see, there are a number of them. If you want to see the detail, press pause now, and you can see the detail on the far right-hand corner. But it does show the effect on the Electoral Area A and why there was an increase. And this is a continuation of that. So there's been a number of material changes to the budget, and the reason is shown on here. And as you can see, the material changes add up to a total of $146,000 for the Electoral Area A budget. This is your tax requisition for A. It shows all of the services that are A participates in. And that's one of the material increases as stated earlier. Because of such a material jump in assessment in A, there is also a material jump in the share for common costs in A. And this is the regional director determines budget for A. As you can see, it's only a 1.22% increase. And then the requisitions for the multi-regional board, these budgets are just given to us, and the board has no direct input. Farther down at the very bottom, it talks about the debt servicing for the Northwest Sewer and the Anarchist Fire Department. This is the tax requisition, which shows the comparison by municipal level and also the Penticton Indian Band. And this is the same thing, except it's at the electoral area level. This is a comparison of the taxes by various values from $500,000 to $1 million by electoral area and member municipality. Just to emphasize, this is only the taxes for the regional district. It does not include school, does not include roads, surveyor taxes, policing. This is a comparison for the cost per capita. Obviously, the more people you have, the more the costs are spread out. In the past, it's been shown how much each area pays based on assessment, and only by that, I thought it'd be interesting to show the benefit for each man, woman, and child that's in the area. This is just a straight pie graph that shows where everyone is in the regional district budget circle, and this is information where you can review the budget. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. We look forward to receiving your feedback on Budget 2022.